Very good. Usually a little bit of a lag, but hey, everybody. This is Casey Corbin, and I got with me Kathy Scott. Say hi, Kathy.
Hi, Casey, and everyone else.
That's right. We have. We'd love to know that our technology is working. I have had quite a few issues this morning, so if you could please say hello in the chat, and if you're listening, if you go up to the top, if you're on here live, there in the original post, there's this little link at the bottom of the post that says something StreamYard, and that's the service that I use. If you've never attended one of mine before, you don't have to do this once, and then you're good forever. But you click on that, and then it will be able to show me your name on my dashboard and be able to see who I'm talking to or see who's showing up. So, I would love to have somebody could say yes, we can hear you. Then we'll get started. But Kathy, why did you want to do this? So what we're doing today is we're doing a very very short, concise. We're going to aim at about 15 minutes coaching call where I'm going to give you feedback on your efforts so far in building your fluid art teaching business. And we're going to take a look at your group and your page. And so, why did you want to do this? What prompted your interest?
Well, the fact that you had done that class a few weeks ago, which I downloaded, and my teaching has come from the back door where it is by demand. When people see my art, they want to, do you teach? Do you teach? And after I said, well, not really, not really. Well, why not? So, I started with a couple of friends teaching them, and then a few people in the neighborhood teaching them, and our local community center, which represents about 5 different subdivisions,
Oh
has a
wow,
nice
how
big
nice!
art room. They have a nice
Oh
big room,
wow,
a little art meeting over there every Friday morning. Everybody takes their own art, and it's just camaraderie, but a good time.
wow.
And even I've taught the artists there that are watercolor painters and acrylic painters. They've not ever seen pouring before. And usually when I'm there and I have a little portable setup and I pour, everyone comes over to watch the pour, the technique.
You become
I,
very
I
popular.
stir paint for half an hour, but when I pour, then they want to watch.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I just started inviting people, and I've had a couple of classes over there, and then the virus hit. So right now I'm pretty out of it. Not much is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. If you guys are watching in a replay, maybe weeks or months, years from now, we right now are smack dab in the middle of the COVID-19 virus and the way that it's affecting all of us, in particular, the businesses. I think that a lot of people are starting to just realize that this is a lot more about hand washing and staying away, but the ramifications economically from a business standpoint are projected to be not be able to get to normal for at least 18 months after everything is becomes normal, here, as far as like, no more guidelines as far as how many people you can be around and all the, when we go back to normal in
All right.
society. Yeah, so
The
it's going to be
grocery
lasting.
store, having people keep their carts 6 feet away. The waiting lines, they have little markers with tape on the floor so you stay 6 feet away. Um, Down in
Amazing.
Central Florida, I don't know, it's worse other places. I'm in a rural area too, which probably is better for
Yeah, I would
me,
think so.
but
I would.
it's bound to hit here sooner or later. And we're just
Yeah.
trying to avoid it. But we've been self isolated here. Went to the grocery store today for the first time in 2 weeks.
Wow, you were prepared then. You
We
did well.
actually found toilet paper too, which is been.
Okay.
And you know what? We were charged $17 for a package of 12
Oh
rolls.
my gosh. Wow, that's
I know,
gouging.
I know.
Wouldn't it be funny
So
if
I,
like this video somehow found its way, into people that are watching like 20 or 30 years from there and they're like, what are they talking about?
yeah, it's like it's just a food.
Toilet paper.
Okay, so what do you have to offer me for my teaching? I want to do a better job. I want to reach more people. I want to teach more often. Um, it's just a fun thing to do, and I get to do it when I'm teaching them. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah, isn't that great? And I've been doing it for about 2 years, a little over 2 years, and that is one of the things that I really, really, really enjoy. Is that as we get to have fun, our clients and our students get to have fun, we also get to have fun with them. So that's
Right?
That's just a
Right.
wonderful aspect of things.
I,
Yeah.
I always do a painting first in demonstration. I have my colors already, and so I just do a quick little painting,
Oh, neat.
like a dirty pour or a flip cup or something like that, just to kind of show them, what to expect.
Hmm.
And so far, I've been lucky that all my pieces have turned out well. A lot of, I know I'm going to have a bad one sooner or later, but
Yes, yes, you are, and it's going to be great. And that'll be a wonderful teachable moment for you and them.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh, that is so true. Well, I pulled your Facebook page, your business page up on screen,
yeah.
so we'll get to that in a little bit. But before we do that, I sent you a bunch of questions, and you did a really great job of answering them. So I'm just going to kind of use that as like our interview, and you can answer the same way you did on the Google form that I sent you, or you can add to that. So Kathy, what is your goals and dreams? What do you want? What do you want to do with this fluid art stuff?
Dreams, that's a big question, but goals at this point, um, I just want to keep doing it more. I've only been doing it a couple of years. I feel like I'm a novice,
Hmm.
um, but I've had pretty good luck with a lot of things,
Well,
and
I can see behind you, you've had a lot of good luck because those are some beautiful pieces you got.
thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. But I've certainly had some failures, believe me, and I've had some pour overs that I won't even let anybody see. But I just want to do more, get better at the things that I do, understand the chemistry of it more, so that I can get better. I finally figured out that that's how you get better. You,
Yeah.
you understand the paints and how they mix, and the chemistry of it, and the weight of it, and the brands of it. I was never one to use craft paints in the first place, but now I realize that I would never do that.
That's cool. That's cool. And you're right. And there's what's interesting to me about this is we're really in the center of an art trend that, not unlike the coronavirus, has never taken place before, in our society, in that so many people are flocking to art because we can, right? We have access to it through the internet.
Yeah,
We feel
it's great
empowered to do
right now.
stuff. Yeah, it's art's not just for those artists that put stuff in galleries. It's for everybody, and people are interested in learning. That's why I think that within the trend of acrylic paint pouring, that teaching that is the next big trend, because like you, we got interested in it, fascinated. We put in our hours, learning all those things that you just listed, and now we have something to be able to offer other people. And so I think that's a really beautiful thing. I'm glad that you're teaching that, and it sounds like you got a great hookup, with the community center there. It sounds like an awesome opportunity.
It is, but that's a busy place. So getting a time slot is sometimes difficult. I'd
Yeah.
really like to do one a week, but I'm lucky to get two a month.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's not certainly not a bad start,
No,
and
no, not at
so
all.
the
And like
popularity
I
and the
mentioned,
demand.
another community, we have another senior community not very far from us,
Yeah.
and it's huge. And they want a lot of things there. They want teaching of anything,
Yeah.
but
So
they
if you
love
taught
art.
like every
The
other
nice,
week at both those locations, that would be once a week. Would that
yeah.
be everything that you want, or are you wanting to do more with this?
Well, in order to keep my own art, that's probably all I need.
Yeah.
Is that like once a week, by the time I clean up and put it all back together and set up for the next one, and
Yeah.
put some art in there myself, and maybe clean my house,
Yeah.
which probably falls last.
That's
But
great.
my husband's a great support for me. So
Well, I think I'm getting a pretty good idea of what you want to create, and so I mentor fluid art teachers all over the world. Have over thousands of we have almost 4,000 people who have joined the free group, and then I have a paid membership group in which we do more intense. And there's actually, I do 4 levels of membership within that, and so some of those are very intense. That we're really helping them. I'm accessible to them, and so. That the first thing I always try to understand when I'm helping somebody is, what do you want to do with this? I mean, because not everybody wants to quit their full-time job, dive into this thing, and teach daily. So it's a little bit different for everybody, and we of course want to honor that. So I'm getting an idea about what you want to create. What do you think you want your students to be able to do? So once they attend your class, what do you want to, I don't know, empower them to do or become?
I offer something called an experience.
Ooh.
So people see this, they really think it's cool. And so I say, well, come over. we can have this experience. And I charge
I
them, of
love that.
course, but I help them.
Yeah.
And I make them mix at least one paint just so they understand consistency. And I take the other paints that I already have mixed, have them put them in cups and stir so they understand that all the consistencies need to be the same. And
Mm.
then help them along with the pour, whatever it is, and help them touch up and guide them and suggest tilting. And basically, it is teaching, but they don't expect to be pouring, 10 times more. If they do it once, they're happy. They go home, they hang it on the wall, and
Mm.
they're delighted. So I do that, and then if somebody else wants to learn, and I have one girl that comes once a month because that's all she can basically afford and get off of her job for. So
Yeah. Do you mind discussing your pricing with us? So, what is your price point for your classes, and how long is the duration of your class?
right now, and I haven't been doing this long, I'm charging $50 for one person to come, and it takes 2.5 hours to get through two small canvases.
Very
We
good.
usually do 10 by 10s or an 8 by 10 or one
Yeah.
of each.
Yeah.
Um,
Now,
then
do you have some financial goals for? Do you want to increase your profit? Is that part of it, or is that kind of
well,
secondary?
it is kind of secondary.
Okay. Great.
I'm retired and from the corporate world, so
That is great. Yeah, yeah. Wonderful. Well, I'll ask you two other questions. One was what keeps you up at night with excitement, and the other one was what keeps you up at night with anxiety, as it comes to
well, you
this,
have to tell me
teaching fluid art.
what I answered yesterday may not be the same today. Excitement is I am constantly painting in my head, and if I wake up in the middle of the night, I grab my phone and I watch a YouTube video on painting. I've discovered so many artists. I've subscribed to so many artists that my email box is full of artist notifications. And
Me too.
I try to watch them all, but that's what I do. I watch videos after videos. I watch paint tutorials, recipe tutorials. Then I go and try it. I try it over and over, and I just practice, practice, practice.
That's cool. Yeah. You sound like you got the bug.
Yeah,
For 20 years, I've been an addictions counselor, and now I help create addiction in people. So,
yeah,
um,
I think I do. And the fun thing is that my husband has it too. And although he was pouring with me for a while, he has other interests, so he's not painting anymore.
okay.
But he wait till I finish something. He rushes in and explains how wonderful it is, whether it
that
is or
that
um,
sounds really
he's
awesome.
great support, great support. And so, he'll say in the morning, "What are you going to do today? Are you going to paint?" "Yeah, I'm going to paint." So he always makes that.
That's really
So
wonderful.
he makes art, but he does it a different way.
Cool, cool. Well, I tell you what, we'll bounce back to the questions. Let's go ahead and jump onto your site. All right. And
Okay.
so there's, as we kind of look at it on the screen here, you got some really great features. All right. I'm going to give you some general recommendations. These are not things that I ever expect anybody to change everything. It's just
Right.
that as I've
I'm
researched
open.
this helps us to be able to better optimize our presence on Facebook so that we get more attention there, which again may not be a super big goal of yours, but you notice that
No,
as
it
you
is. It is. It's probably my best connection to the outside world.
well, there we go. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm hovering right now. It's a hover pop up. So I'm hovering on top of your business name, and you see that it pops up. It looks a little bit different whenever you hover over somebody's and let's see if I can make let's see if I got a comment here on a personal. See, there's a difference between your Facebook personal profile and your Facebook business page, and then we also have groups. And so there's basically three of these formats that we can take advantage of. Here, let's see if I try hi, and see if now I can hover over my name. Now, if it will work for me. Then a pop-up menu. Okay, see what comes up for me is this goes to my personal profile and
Right.
it shows my picture, of who I am, and then it has my what I'm going to call is your cover image, but I'm going to call it my billboard because there you can advertise now, and you can see that my two worlds are dynamic fluid art and good great life coaching, right? And so I have like
Right.
two merged worlds of art and therapy. And so I even added a little description there that said, hey, this is my personal profile just to keep things clear. Yeah, but feel free to go over to my business pages if you want to talk business, right? And so I still have that delineation where this is my personal life. Actually, sometimes I'll be posting things on my personal profile and people get confused where they're at and they're like, "Why are you posting this here?" And I'm like, "Well, this is my personal profile. I'll post anything I want to." I think you're confused. You think you're on my business page right now, but
Yeah.
but anyway, so there's some great things that we can do on that where you can immediately see that if we went to my page right now, that if you click on either my image or the cover image here, those are just regular photographs, our images or photos that we have in Facebook, and they have a description there. They have a space for a description. In that description is a great opportunity to link back to your business page. So you just copy the link over there, tell them about your business page. You could even do a little paragraph like I've done, just saying, hey, this is my personal page, but if you want to know more about my fluid art teaching business, go here, to my business page. And what's
Ah,
cool is that you've noticed everywhere that I make comments on the internet or on Facebook, this travels with me. And so no matter what group, what page, wherever I am, anybody can hover over my name and see this about me, which is really, really cool. You'll also see the third aspect, which is the description that says, that I work at Dynamic Fluid Art, right? And it even goes in further to tell, if you click on that, what I do there. And I got a little catchphrase that says, that I help increase joy in students of my art classes. So these are some things that you can do on your personal profile that can optimize it. But going back to your business profile, so the first thing we're going to look at is your cover image, and this is a beautiful art piece here. You might choose, since this is your business page, to go ahead and do you ever go and create images like on Canva.com?
not Canva. I do have a Photoshop Elements or
There you
something I
go.
can put a
Great,
couple
yeah.
things on.
Yeah, so there's you can, it's about to change within Facebook because they are launching their new format. You'll see it sometimes when you jump on other people's profiles or their business pages. Is instead of your picture as it is here, it will be in the center. You'll know that they have opted into the new Facebook format. So they're beta testing it right now. They're not rolling it out completely, but it looks
Hmm.
like it's coming. So it's going to be a little bit different. But right now, it's 828 by 315 pixels is the size. It will translate well, so you can create one. If you're using Adobe or like you talked about Photoshop or Canva or whatever, to be here, and then you can put in that Kathy Scott art, and a little bit about what you do, but real big. Remember, it's going to be a thumbnail, just like we looked at mine down
Right.
here. That's not very big, right? So as people are scrolling along, on their screen, particularly on their phone, that might end up being like a 1 inch by 1 inch little advertisement. So you want to have that real plain and readable there. I also
Right.
recommend that instead of having your picture here, right, as nice as that is that maybe you have a logo if you consider doing a logo and you've worked in the corporate world before, so you know how that can work. It's really just a choice because the name of
I
your
do.
business, mine is Dynamic Fluid Art, and I kind of have I'm personally removed from that. It doesn't say Casey Corbin, blah blah blah. Right? So having your face there makes a lot more sense than me having my face on mine. So mine has my Dynamic Fluid Art logo there,
Right.
and again, that's easier to trace, and people can see who's commenting and why. And so it states that you're a business. That it's coming from a business page as opposed to coming from a personal profile.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know that it's the right suggestion for you because of your name is associated with it. You're not trying to turn this into a big huge
Not a
enterprise.
probably not a big business. Right. Right. But
Yeah,
and also that having my picture there is helpful because there are other Kathy Scotts on the internet for
that is so
various
true.
reasons.
Yeah, when I tried
They
to
don't usually use an I in their name, but still, other people don't always know that. So,
yeah, yeah. Well, let's go to your about page and make sure that that's switched. Okay, good. On your about page here, you've got in your about section, which is when people are looking for something. Let's say that you have run an event in Facebook. Do you run Facebook events? Do you use that feature?
no, yeah, I just started that and the virus hit. So, no, I have
Okay,
no
yeah.
events.
Well, very good, very
I
good.
think I
Okay,
put
so
something in about it actually, but about no events, all events suspended.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So
It just
events we
sounded
can
like
still
they had
do.
a lot of events.
Yeah, you can even use it for online events too if that's something you wanted to get into. But when we open up in the future to be able to do live teaching again, events are great because it's like free marketing, right?
Yeah,
They are putting that. There's even a separate app you can get on your phone for locally what's going on around you, and it just resources all those Facebook events. So if you're like bored this weekend, what are we going to do this weekend? You just put in Saturday morning, and all of a sudden, Kathy's, art class is popping up there, and you may not even know them, right? You have no other way to be able to reach them. They're outside of your circles. So doing
huh.
events for everything that you do, all right? I even did an event for this, right, for our interview here,
Right,
because
right.
it has, the link back to, where this being sent to,
Sure.
and people can
Would
be
be
able to
any
see that.
appointment
Yeah. So
relative.
so one of the first three things we've already covered, they're going to look at your cover image, and either your logo or where your picture is, and then they're going to click on that about. If they're like really wanting to go, do I want to take this from Kathy? Right? Who is she? So yours says Kathy Scott Art is a representation of my acrylic paint pouring art and related efforts, painting for fun, for commissions, and teaching new artists of the medium. So that's very concise. I love that. I love how to the point you are, right? I might suggest that you put something of an action statement in there as far as that sounds good, what do I do next, right? And so you
Right.
might choose to put a link to your Facebook business, or excuse me, to like your events tab, or look at our events tab to see what's going on next, or I'd love to see you in a class. Here's how to contact me. You have your phone number listed, and your contact available, above here, and your email address. So you might just say, please contact me at the contact information above. I'd love to see you take a class or whatever, some type of
Yeah,
an action step. What do I do, whenever I have that
yeah,
information?
that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
I'm jotting that down.
so you have here your action button is the fourth thing is what it's called, is your send message. All right, and so that can be a really good one. There's other ones would say like buy now, shop now. Mine says visit group because I've linked my page to a group, and so uh, your again you got your your personal profile that owns, if you will, your business page, and your business page can own a group, right? A specific group. Now, what I use my dynamic fluid art group for is all of my students. I announce to them that they are now part of an elite group that can join the alumni, if you will,
Yeah,
have taken a class
right,
with me, and that's where then they
right.
can interact, and they can post as they do this on their own. They can take pictures of it, or let's say that they varnish the piece that they made, in my group. They can now post it there, or that they've got some questions. Right there is a really great thing, and the wonderful thing about a group is that I may not be accessible, and they could jump on there and say, I had this problem of varnishing my thing, and another previous student can jump on there and say, well, did you wait 3 weeks like Casey told you? And so they can
I
kind of
love
solve
this
their own problem.
idea. I love this idea. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and of course they're
great.
free, and easy to link, on there. And so if you do it from your page, it kind of automatically links it. But if you create your group somewhere else, you can still go back in settings and link it
You
to
do it
that
from
group.
this page, the business page.
Yeah, so like right here on your business page, right, you have all your
Oh, at the
tabs
top.
listed here, which by the way,
Right.
in the new format are going to go away. They're going to be more of a bar that goes across the top like you view this on a cell phone. All right.
Um,
So you
um,
don't have yours here, but you would have a group tab, and that would allow you
right.
to be able to click into that group tab, and then that would send people to be able to then apply, and you can ask those group questions that you want to, like you can be as exclusive as you want to be, or you can collect email addresses there. There's all kinds of great things because we need to be building our email list. That is the main thing, about marketing
Yes,
today.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. And I am
So
doing that on the side. But yeah, this is even a better way.
yeah, yeah, and so it is. It's a little
Can you
meticulous
can
because
you
you've got to,
message groups? Can you
yeah.
message your group list?
No, you can post in your group, but there's not a good way. I wish that where you can just send a group message, right? You can use other external platforms like Many Chat, Many Chat. If you spell it the wrong way, you'll go somewhere you don't want to go. It's not many like small, but many like there's lots of. Chat is one that I use. I also use 22 Social has a built-in broadcast chat, but everybody has to elect to go into that.
Right.
And there's it's gotten trickier because as of the first of the year, Facebook has really limited the chatbot is a chatbot functions within Facebook, and so it doesn't do everything that we wish that it did, with it that we had access to back in 2019. Great. Are you? Do you have an Instagram account?
Yes, I do.
Great. Have you integrated your Instagram account with your Facebook account?
No, I did not. I
Okay.
don't think I did.
Okay. And so you can also refer to it. You can say, hey, guys, if you're enjoying this, where I really post is on the Instagram account because it's so visual. And so, I'm taking lots of pictures of my art, maybe even some in process videos. Those things, you pump them to Instagram, and it's a very easy setting to, just clicking a button where when you post to Instagram, it also goes into Facebook and it can go into a Facebook business page. And so that's super
Oh,
nice.
right,
Yeah, so
right.
for
And I
with
have posted to Instagram and it goes to Facebook, but it
that's
goes
it.
to my personal page. Since I
Yes.
just set the business page up, I guess I need to figure out how to have it go to the business page
Boom. That's
or
exactly right.
both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Both?
So you are on track here. Okay. We'd already talked about your events tab,
Okay.
which you have here, and so we'll see. Okay, great. So you had an event for March 23rd. All right. Were you
Yes.
able to do that one?
Uh, yeah, yes, I did the 23rd.
Great.
Yeah, I did.
Great.
That was that
Oh,
was when we.
you're in the Villages. Is that where you live?
Yes.
I didn't know
Well, yes,
that.
we have two homes, and right now I'm in Dunellen. You know where Dunellen is?
No. Uh-uh.
It's a little north and west of the Villages. It's 1 hour away.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
we go back and forth. But
Oh,
I
okay.
paint here, and we live over there.
Oh.
So we
uh,
recently, my husband recently retired. So before that, we needed to be there for 4 days, and we came
right.
over here Thursday night.
Yeah.
And we have art group Friday, and then stay for the weekend. And that's
That
when I
sounds
was
great.
painting all day Saturday and Sunday, and then we go back to the Villages.
Well,
Well,
I'm
right now,
jealous. I tried to get into the Villages 2 years ago, right,
what do you
as
mean
an
try?
outsider, and that didn't work because I
What
wanted
do
to
you mean?
teach. I wanted to teach down there because it was such a neat place. But
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah,
maybe they'll let me in.
absolutely, they'll let you in. You need to be
Yeah.
pushing that.
Well,
Yeah, for
I do
sure.
belong to the Villages Art League.
Okay.
And the only reason I don't belong to the Villages Art Association, which is the other big one, is that they meet on Friday afternoons. Well, I'm over here on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
The other
Well,
one meets on Mondays, so we go back so I can go there on Mondays. So right
uh,
now, of course, we're tied down. But yeah, I'll get back into that.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
it's only
the
once a month. I think I'm going to go ahead and join because see, both of those associations have two art shows a year, and
oh,
you
how
don't
great.
really have to qualify. You just because you're a member, you go.
Oh,
And
how
they have it
nice.
indoors. It's a huge venue, and I went last year and I did great. And
Oh,
I think I was the only one of maybe two or three um, pouring float artists,
well,
and I did.
that's
So I was
wonderful.
happy.
I would have thought there would have been more actually by now, especially that area. So we're going
There's a
into
few.
your event now, and you got some great pictures. I love these action shots of you teaching. I mean, because we
Yeah,
nowadays,
that's what I
particularly
heard.
especially with Instagram and stuff, we are a lot more visual. We instead of reading that, hey, I teach, you instantly see this picture right here, and this tells you exactly what's going on, right? And so that's just great. So these action shots are worth their weight in gold. I am super blessed in that I was teaching one class in Albany, Georgia, and they had a professional photographer come in and take pictures, and so I have some great shots of me teaching, and that it was just given to me, so that's just wonderful. So
Oh, good.
few recommendations is that here, is in your image is another great place to have, whether you do it in Canva or like you said, Photoshop or whatever, is to go ahead and put your title of what you're learning there, because that's what people are going to see way before they bother to look down here and say, oh, classes for learning acrylic pouring, right?
Ah,
So again, I would spend a little bit of time. In Canva, I can crank something out in literally 2 minutes. I'm just boom, boom,
right.
boom. And so that's one reason I like that, and have the presets that are already there
I didn't
for.
realize that that's a different picture than, the home page.
Yeah, yeah. So, well,
That,
yeah, I think it'll
okay.
automatically load there. So all you got to do is just replace it in there. And
Oh,
so, yeah,
good.
so you can do all
That's
kinds of
good to know.
images. And depending on what
Okay.
you want to go after. Now, I've shifted personally this year. I'm not really teaching it so much as a skill-based class as I'm doing it as a day retreat, where I also combine I teach something called mind-based mood management because I'm a counselor, and so I do a day retreat with those themes. And so I need my image to convey both of those things. And so you can of course go to my group, or excuse me, my page, and go to the events, and you can see how I'm doing those. So just to be able to convey that
Okay.
information at a glance. They used to say we have 3 seconds, and now they bumped that down to about a second and a half is the way that people are reading. We're scanning so quickly now that if it does not catch us right there, boom, where we're like, wait, what's that? Then we are
Right.
scrolling on, scrolling on, scrolling on. So,
Imagine what our kids are going to be doing.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We've seen that where the Tony Starks or the whatever, they have 30 images all up at the same time. I believe it. I believe they will be, but their brain will be able to process that in a totally different way. All right, so back to
Yeah.
your page. Let's see, pop in here. Okay, and then your
Casey, when you post on Instagram, how much text do you put with it, or do you put any
very little.
with your picture?
Yeah, very
Very little.
very little.
Okay, that's kind of what I'm doing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I started out, I just really didn't know what I was doing, so I just put a picture on there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd say what size it was, something like that. But I would like to sort of improve. Same with my page here, which you're helping me a lot.
Good.
Um, Hope that I can improve both of those.
Yeah, Instagram is very, very visual. So you want to have a really, really good images or engaging images, including short videos, right? And then uh, the information people rarely read because it's teeny and it's not. If you copy and paste it, you lose all of the paragraph endings and the sizing and the spaces and all that kind of stuff. It's just teeny letters, and you can put a
Yeah,
lot of stuff in there, but nobody's going to read it because it's going to be this ugly block of information.
right,
It's not laid out very well. So, and they don't want it to be. They want Instagram to be very, very visual with
right.
that. All right.
Well,
Let's
where do
see.
you sell then? Do you sell on?
Both.
I don't really want to Etsy.
Yeah, and so you think of it this way: is like Instagram is like the Yellow Pages used to be. You can find it, but then you're going to click off of that and you're going to go somewhere else. And so, I notice you do not have a website yet. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So if you're wanting to sell, you can do that on. I have a specific separate Facebook group, Facebook page, excuse me, that is for selling my art. And so I'll link off of it and go over there, right? And so people can, if I'm trying to sell something, I might might show it on Instagram, but then link back to the page where people can find out where they can buy it.
Okay. Well, what do
All
you
right.
call that? What do you call that? Like your store or
For
something?
me, and I got to be honest with you, I don't sell a lot. I'm not very interested in selling a lot. And so my focus has been teaching, and then of course mentoring teachers has been where my interest has
Yeah.
been. And then my other world is counseling, so I do counseling and coaching. But when I do my page is old, and it's called Art Cycle Art for Sale, because I used to use only recycled materials in art. So I would definitely need to ramp that up, and probably to start a whole nother one. You can have an endless amount of pages and groups, and so I have a lot. I have a ton, but I
Oh,
see
I
that
see.
you.
So you just have another little list on the side there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Your art
I
for sale,
honestly
whatever you call it.
I have over 10 pages and then over 10 groups on top of it. So I don't
Oh,
maintain
good.
them. I don't keep them
Right.
up. I see that your
Right.
likes, you got 20 people that liked your page, and so there's a threshold of 100 that you can, which is an advantage. I'm pretty sure it's why they did it this way. That once you cross that threshold, you get some information from Facebook. They will give you statistical information about your group, and so it's real great to like share this with your friends and say, hey, I need 80 more people to like go to, don't like this post, but like my, go to follow this link and go to my Kathy Scott Art page and like it, because once I get over 100, then Facebook will send me this. It's not called infographics. I can't believe that word is losing me right now, but it gives you really, really neat information that you would like to have. Plus, it's an opportunity to be able to get your likes up. So, and I believe there's another threshold after 500 too. Excuse me. So getting your likes
Okay.
up is a really good thing. Your user likes. Then there's this see first. See how you got this following button here? And so when
The
and so what we want to do is encourage people to click on the
oh,
following
following. Yeah.
button and then
Yeah.
go to see first. And when you click that, now it changes from following to see first. That means that it's not that I get a post from Kathy Scott Art every once in a while. Facebook makes sure that I see all of your posts. And so, you want to encourage people to go that extra mile to go to see first. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And so
Yes.
you can do that and create another little graphic or something like that that shows people. Let me show you this one, just on paper. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well. It's probably backwards, but you can just create a graphic that says, with your page there, maybe an arrow button that says, "Hey, click to. Do you like
Yeah.
what you see here?
Pretty
Go to following, click
small.
see first," and that will encourage people to be able to get everything that you send out, or at least a lot more. And
So they
then
have to do it.
they
All
have
those
to,
folks that
yeah,
would
yeah. Unfortunately, we
do
can't
it.
do that for them, or automate the process
Okay.
or anything like that. So they have
Okay.
to go and do that. And let's see, we've got, really one more thing is the pinned post. You're using a pinned post here? Is that right? Is this one
What is
pin? A pinned post, you would go to, I'm on your page now, so I would not imagine it would let me, you're going to get a different menu that pulls up. So like you click these three dots and it will say pin this to the top,
yeah?
right? And so you want to have like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And so you have some good stuff on here. Let's say that, a year from now you've got your feed is just full. You've got hundreds and hundreds of posts. Well, you want there might be some ones that you want to stay at the top. This one
Sure.
would be great, or at least the images that are in this one of you teaching. And this kind of it's another opportunity to tell about. If people don't run over here and read your about or go to your about section, you want them to be able to see
Right.
what this is, right?
Okay. That's a
Yeah,
great idea.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Uh, Good. Did you have any specific questions for me?
Oh, I don't think so. You covered everything well, and I know you took more time than you expected
Yeah, that's
than that I
okay.
deserved. But yeah, I want to teach over in the villages, and I can do that.
Yes,
My
yes.
biggest challenge, maybe you can help with this. My biggest challenge is because we can't move the paintings after we've created them.
Uh-huh.
Uh, we have to leave them there for a couple of days.
Ideally.
That's the problem, probably.
Well, you can
Um,
move them, and that's always on the teachers' pages. Which y'all that are watching this, Kathy's not even she's not even a member of the teaching pages yet. Isn't that great? So she was like surprised to hear this. So you're going to get a lot of information there too. But that's a common question that comes up in both the free teachers page and the paid membership subscription pages. I want to teach at this location, but they won't let me keep things there. And so there's a
yeah,
couple of ways, common responses that come up to that. One is a lot of people will go and they'll buy pizza boxes so that people can take them home in a little safer manner, right? Two is that it also has to do with the way that you teach. And so my classes, even when I just taught them as a skill building class, I said, listen, this is not like a paint and sip class where you're going to create something here that you're going to definitely hang up on your wall, when you get home. This is more of I'm going to teach you about fluid art, and then you can take it and run with it. And so we're not going to get overly invested in what we produce today. So if we have some issues, it doesn't go right, you don't like the way the colors turned out, hey, it was fun and you learned, and so
right,
really put, you're not going to take home this treasure, right? But 80-90% of the time people do produce something that they're very, very proud of, and they hang
sure
it up
they
on their
do.
walls, and that they do enjoy that. But I try to minimize that, especially
Yeah.
for those that I know that traveled. I have a friend, Connie, that actually comes. I think she might even have, she has some dealings with the villages there. I remember she came from Orlando though. to a couple of my classes, which was a 4 hour drive, which I thought was really neat. And so she always had to take hers home, in a flat box. Well, I belong to Sam's Club, and or any of these big box, membership clubs has these big piles of flat box, that you can
Yes.
find, right? And so every time I go there, I just take my groceries home in them. So, when class comes around, I've got, maybe 20 of them, and I just stack them up there in the corner and I say, look, whether you come back in 2 days to pick these up, I won't be here because I do these in art centers. These boxes I left for you, so you can
Right.
take them home, with them.
Right.
Or if you have to, I don't recommend it, but if you have to, take it with you today for whatever reason, then you can use these boxes to help protect, your car. I
Sure.
will tell you that, our fluid art still moves for up to 24 hours. So chances are it's going to be different. It's going to move. So, drive gently, be careful. This is not the most ideal, and you
Yeah.
explain the risks, that they're taking and doing that, but you just make it their choice. And I have never, ever had anybody balk at that. And most of the time when people say, oh, I have to take it with me today, they become so invested in the process that they're like, no, I'm going to make a special trip in 2 days and go back and get this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
far, it's worked for me to have people come back and get them, but I
Yeah.
can see it. And in fact, I went to a class in Ocala,
Oh,
um, and do you know people in Ocala?
and
There's a beach.
it just seems like a drive, but yeah.
Well, it's 20 minutes, 30
Oh,
minutes
okay,
at
good. Good
most.
for you. Hmm.
A girl named Maggie. I don't remember her last name, but
Hmm.
she was very good. But I didn't really care for the class.
Oh, okay.
But she did have boxes like you're talking about, and
Yeah, it's just a
so
consideration, and sometimes I might have so many classes going that I don't have enough, classes, I have enough boxes built up to be able to
boxes.
take them. So it's not
I
something that I.
brought I brought my piece home, not expecting it to be good, but it actually made it pretty well. But it was a very thin base. It wasn't real wet. We did a string pour, so
Oh,
it
okay.
was not moving around.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Anything else?
Well, Kathy, this has been a real delight. I appreciate you being the guinea pig on on these. I already have a couple other people that have contacted me that said, I want to do one, I want to do one. So we've got one hopefully scheduled for tomorrow at noon too. So you might benefit vicariously from watching, theirs. And so,
Oh, good.
yeah, and I'll just contact me and make sure that you get the groups, and I'll make sure that you get onto those and have that opportunity. Okay.
All right. Yes, I'll definitely do that and get onto your fluid site.
That's right. That's right. Well, thanks
Well,
so much,
thank you very
Kathy.
much. I appreciate your input. And you've been a delightful person to talk with.
Thank you. Ditto. Ditto. I loved it. Let's stay in contact,
Thank
okay?
you.
All right.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Good. Bye bye.